So I'm out the front in the al fresco area. We're about to blow away all the leaves and stuff that blew in with Alfred. And I thought, well, it's time to put up part 2 on how we survived the cyclone. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. You can see the rain's persisted most of the day. Not a lot of rain, like last time I looked it was 1.1 mil, which is nothing really. Skies are still grey, very grey, and you can still see it's blowing periodically. It gets quite windy, but at the moment not much. It's scheduled to cross the coast tomorrow night to coincide with a high tide, so that's going to be a bit unfortunate for those on the coast, but I guess you sit back and wait and see how we go, eh? So we've got all schools closed today. They've stopped public transport as of last night. Cyclone Alfred slowed down a bit, which is a bit of a worry because it's still over the water, and so the longer it's over the water the more it's going to develop. It's wandering slightly north of us and slightly south of us. At the end of the day it's really not going to matter because the bloody thing's 400 kilometres long. People seem to forget that, and they're all obsessing about exactly where it will cross the coast. It doesn't matter. It's 400 kilometres long, guys, come on. So it's expected to hit late Friday night. It's Thursday lunchtime now. Still fairly quiet. Periodically the wind really whips up. The rain stopped for the moment. It's forecast to get a lot sort of set in as of today. I'm wondering where all the birds have gone. Hopefully they know and they've buggered off without watching TV. So I'll probably do a few more updates before she hits, but I'll try and put the video up when it's getting relatively close because we might lose power for a couple of days. Alright, we're strapping down at the moment. Talk about wind. At the moment everything's pretty good. We'll see how she unfolds. So the cyclone's meant to hit tomorrow. It keeps getting pushed back, so it's looking like 11 o'clock in the day now tomorrow. But it is getting periodically more blowy. You can probably see on the trees in the background. And the rain, although it's really like a heavy mist, it's slowly starting to pick up. So I'm just out checking my molting chickens and the quails. I expect I'll lose that polycarbonate sheeting that's the roof of the chicken coop. They're still covered from above, so they should be right, providing the structure holds up. And that's probably the last video I will do, because I suspect after this it's going to get a lot more serious, slowly but surely, folks. Jeez, it's been a long wait. It's mucked us about, Alfred. I caught myself a day ago saying I wish it would hurry up and just get here, do what it's going to do. Well, I suppose I'll probably lose a TV antenna too. Not much I can do about that. So yeah, wish me luck, folks. I'm going in. Alright, you have a good one, eh? Hooroo. So the worst of the cyclone hit between about 11:45 and about 2:30 last night. Thankfully, wasn't a lot of damage, as you can see, which is really, really good. But now we've got the low, an ex-tropical cyclone Alfred has turned into a massive big low, really, and it's just going to all sit around for at least the weekend, and that's when we're talking about significant flooding, and you can see why. So it will be interesting to see how the weekend unfolds. Luckily we've dodged the worst of the bullet. People on the Gold Coast certainly were not so lucky. So there's about apparently 500,000 people without power between us and northern New South Wales. It could be days before they get that back on. The news is struggling to report any significant damage. A few big trees down around the place. Like I say, that's not true for the Gold Coast. Those poor buggers really copped it. So my heart goes out to anyone on the Gold Coast who really suffered. Going to be a long weekend. Hopefully I'm going to do another check now just to make sure I'm not seeing any leaks in my house around the place. But very happy we missed the worst of it. If I can get a break in the rain, I'll go out and do the birds, make sure they got water and food. But certainly at a glance, it all's looking very good. Well, here's the thing. I came out to care for the animals, the chooks and the quails, in a break in the rain. well, the brake went away, and I've got to run over to that back door. Thank God I kept that polycarbonate roofing on. Oh dear. Well, looks like you're going to get a bit of a shower, Andrew. Saturday night, I presume you can hear that wind. Wow. So at one stage about 400,000 people had lost power. Now they got a lot of those back today, and last I heard it was we were still 145,000 people out. The north side of Brisbane where I live was pretty bloody good. We took no damage, as I said before, I believe, but tonight the wind is back, the rain's here again. And we're copping it a bit, not as bad as last night, which is good, but it's been more sustained, and certainly suburbs on the north side of town are now losing power at a rate of knots as well. I was watching a map before and they're just one after the others going out, so I'm one of the few that's actually got power at the moment. But we don't know how long for, and once she goes out, she's going to go out for quite some time. So there you go, folks. Alfred's back. So it's lunchtime the next day. It's continuing to rain. I can hear a couple of kids out running around trying to have fun. They're bored off their heads, I imagine. There's no power. I've turned the freezer on in the caravan. Hopefully I'll be able to move some meat into there when I need to. Pretty dismal. So some folks have been out since Friday. This is the first day we're out of power, so we'll just wait and see, I guess. Bloody hell. So it's now 2 o'clock on Sunday, and it's continuing just to rain. We get the odd let up, but not a lot. The good news was is that the battery backup has cut in again, so that's going to keep the freezer going. I have turned on the little one in the van in the vain hope that maybe that'll provide me with some, just a bit of risk sharing. So I'll move half of the meat into the van. Hopefully there'll be enough light that the solar can keep the bloody thing going. But yeah, so we're using virtually no power at all, except for the fridge. Everything else in the house is switched off to try and maximise how long that battery lasts. And it looked to me like it was only about 20% at best. So given the low light, I don't expect that's going to last all that long, but we just take to not opening the fridge or the freezer, and that seems to be seeing us through. It's pretty dismal. It's been a while now. I guess most folks are getting bored. They're talking about schools reopening tomorrow. I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't. It doesn't make any sense to me when 344,000 houses have no power. Anyway, it's beyond my mere capacity as a mortal to work out. So I'll keep you up to date as it rolls along. Not that I've got internet or anything, so I can't post it, but at least we'll have a record, eh? Things are slowly coming back to normal. We even get the odd little bit of blue sky today. Yesterday was a bit of a shocker in terms of supplies around the place. So I couldn't find milk or bread or much in the way of fresh fruit for love or money. That's got better today. So like I say, I think things are on the up and up now. Ipswich, which is just west of us, there was some considerable concern that was going to flood, but it looks like they've avoided the worst of that as well. So that's all good. Hopefully that is the back end of Alfred. And good riddance, big boy, you weren't much fun. Right, folks, hopefully that showed a few folks what a cyclone, albeit mild one, I'd hate to be through a category 5, is like down here where I live in my neck of the woods. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I better pull that clothesline back in too. Alright, you have a good one, eh? See ya.